So let's move on to the All-Star weekend, Bert. You had some words for the NHL All-Star weekend?
Man, like I said, I really enjoyed the game. And I honestly thought, the draft was decent too. Like they had 4 celebrity captains. They had Will Arnett, Michael Bublé, Bieber, and Tate McCrae, who is on my radar for so many reasons right now. Her music, lovely, and her overall being is spectacular. Anyways, the draft, cool. They helped. These celebrities captains helped draft. Michael Bublé had kind of a quirky presser afterwards where he was talking about being on shrooms. So it was fun. And then the skills competition comes around, and my God, it couldn't have been more dry. First off, the skills competition itself was helped designed by Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers. Fantastic hockey player. Guess who won?
Oh wait, hold on, Bert. Who won the skills competition?
Connor McDavid. And guess what he gets? $1 million for him. Like that, it's, you couldn't write it more blatant. Like, hey, come help us design this. Yeah, sure.
Excuse me, Bert. Quick, I did a quick Google of a young Miss Tate McCrae.
Properly rated.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's got good music too. Yeah. There is, I don't know if this is true, but there's irony that she actually dated a professional hockey player. He cheated on her, and like, part of her new album, she wrote about it, and like one of her videos is like she's in like hockey goalie equipment. So the irony of the fact that she was brought back to actually be a celebrity captain for one of these teams is great. But so skills competition goes off. I already, spoke my truth about Nikita Kucherov and everybody else participating. And look, it's supposed to be a fun weekend for players and fans. I just think we're getting into the mode now where stuff like this is kind of being overblown. I remember being super excited, like can't wait to watch this when I was a kid. And I don't think my fandom for the game has gone down anymore. I just think it's just overdone.
Right.
So, I mean, I have to respect the league for trying to do something new every single year. The skills competition this year just didn't hit it for me. But the game did. So I don't know. Maybe my tastes are changing where I'm really going to enjoy the game and not the skills competition in itself. He had some good performances by Miss McCrae, in between games. And it was just overall cool to see, Kevin Weeks and other members of the media just having fun with the players and going off on these interviews and going from there. So overall, I would say it's slightly of an overrated All-Star game or All-Star weekend, but still some elements of enjoyment between the cringe, so to speak. Now, what I mentioned before, and what I'll get into with my game ball later, is Gary Bettman has a way of literally having me go hot and cold. I'm cold in the fact that, what you've helped do with this All-Star weekend where it was a little bit too showy, a little bit too cringe. Connor McDavid somehow always getting praise, which, if it's not him, it's Sidney Crosby. It is what it is. But
face of the league.
Yeah. Then he turns around and announces this four country tournament next year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, now you're speaking my language, because anything even remotely close to international play and international competition, I'm all about.
So are these 4 countries set, or they rotate? Like, how do they decide what 4 countries
nations?
It is?
Yeah, the 4 nations are set. It's going to be Canada, U.S., Finland, and Sweden. It's going to be, I think it's over the course of 9 days, 7 games. It's going to take place in a couple different cities in North America. They haven't yet announced. But the way it was put by Bettman was that it's a bit of an appetizer for the upcoming Olympics. And then he drops the bomb and says, guess what? I know we didn't have NHLers in the last, I think, 2 Olympics. We're going back to the Olympics.
Nice.
NHL and the Players Association have agreed to terms where they're going to put NHL stars back in the Olympics, which is great for Team USA. Nothing against, the college boys that did it last time. There's something to it. We had the Miracle on Ice with college players that beat Russian professional hockey players, or at least not professional at the time, but like a huge juggernaut of a Russian team. So thought that would have happened last time. It did not. But now that we have NHLers back in there again, this is going to be great for 2026 and 2030 when we're back in the Olympics, because Bettman was like, hey, we're going back for it. And I was floored. International competition next year, no All-Star game. Olympics the year after that, and then I'm sure they'll return to All-Star format. But I was like, listen, Gary, you always know how to keep me coming back.
Right.
Plain and simple.
So I'll be honest with you, Bert. With the Pro Bowl, I checked. I was like in and out, but once I was in, I was in.
Yeah.
I love the new Pro Bowl. I love
Do
it.
you?
I love the
actual
competitions.
game or like the skills
No,
competition
so
too?
the game, now that they made it flag,
Yeah.
you can tell the players are trying harder
Yeah.
all game. It's funner because you take that. The reason why players didn't do it seriously is because they didn't want to get hit, because they didn't want to get hurt. Now, obviously, there's a level of risk assessment, right? You could get hurt making a cut. You could tear your ACL.
Turf toe or something.
Turf toe, whatever. Things happen, but it's obviously a dramatically different type of injury risk when there's full pads, full contact.
Yeah.
Where the players are clearly not trying, but when it's flag, to me makes the players try harder because it's not something you're not getting hit. There's no fear of getting hit. You're not going to let the receiver try to make a catch now, and the game just was Jalen Hurts, everybody laughing. It was fun. You had this, the Eli Manning, rap battle thing. All of it.
I'm so glad he's leaning into his goofiness even more so now than ever. I'm like, this is the Eli Manning the world needs.
Yeah, and it's funny because if you live in, obviously if you're a Giants fan, but if you live in the Northeast in the tri-state area, you already kind of knew about Eli, that he was kind of a prankster. He was kind of a goofy, fun guy. I don't think a lot of people really recognize that from him, but the Pro Bowl, it hasn't really been good since like Sean Taylor was in it. Like when he was actually out there hitting people, like when Ray Lewis was out there really trying to hit people. And so the fact that it's back, then Dan Orlovsky, I was just reading some of the highlights. You had the 2-on-2 Madden that Puka Nacua and Njoku won. Then Puka Nacua was like on a wakeboard, spectacular catch. They were trying to do like weird catches. Like that's fun. Like that's all the tug of war. The tug of war was lopsided, but but doing things like that is fun. Putting NFL players, it seemed like I had a really good crowd, in terms of all of that stuff. Geno Smith, 3 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? Like, CeeDee Lamb had 5 catches for 3 touchdowns. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 117 yards. Like, these are real stats that players are putting up, trying and playing and doing. Look at it. CJ Stroud, 18 for 22, 73 yards. Gardner Minshew, 8 for 8, 65 yards and 2 tutties. Like that.
What was he even doing there?
I think he was a reserve I think he replaced Josh Allen. Who Josh Allen wasn't even voted in the Pro Bowl like as a starter. He had he made it as an alternate and then was like, no, I'm not playing. So even CJ Stroud had a crazy pass to Jamar Chase. Like it's just fun. Like there's no linemen, you just play, man. It's like backyard football. So who doesn't want to watch that? And the thing about it is that the difference between football and basketball and other sports, you don't get to see the players' faces like that. So like when you have stars and you want to showcase these stars, flag football is perfect for that because everybody likes watching backyard football. It's just fun. So I enjoyed it, man. And Peyton versus Eli, on the sidelines representing the NFC and AFC, is pretty dope. So
man,
I enjoyed
the
it.
Manning brothers actually for making like games like this fun again too. I think what they've done with the Manning cast and all the way through and even to this, I mean, honestly, I think that their personas help make it
for sure. And for sure. And then Scott Van Pelt and Dan Orlovsky calling the game. It's always, they're very good at their job, entertaining.
SVP is fantastic. Yeah.
SVP
so is Dan too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. They're both really good. So I just wanted to shout them out and just the Pro Bowl, excellent job switching the format. They realized it was a dying thing. It made it feel like a spectacle this year. Like there was a lot of events, there's a lot of things going on, and the game itself also was pretty fun. The only thing I would say to change, or I would add, I would make it worth something. Like, the AFC and NFC, like, so now with the 18th game or 17th game, not 18 yet. Well, I think we're trending towards 18. Somebody has to have the extra home game. I think the winner of the Pro Bowl, that conference should get, because all the extra games are out of conference games. So I think the winner, whoever gets the extra game or whoever wins the Pro Bowl, whatever conference, gets that extra home game. and that's how you decide. That's how you make the Pro Bowl more interesting. That's what I think they should do.
That's an interesting way to do it.
That's the only thing the Pro Bowl's missing. These guys don't care about money. Like maybe guys like Gardner Minshew, guys who aren't making top end money.
Yeah.
But like I think you would get better competition. And I thought they should have done, they should have done that. They should have gave, even when they were doing full pads and stuff. I was like, if you made the winner, the conference win, they would get like, I don't know, an extra draft. I don't know how it works. Like, I don't know how the draft lottery works the NFL doesn't have a lottery. It's all based on record. Like you have to do something for them to make it worth something. And now that there's an extra game, that's the perfect, easiest remedy for that.
Yeah, I can see that. I will say, I mean, I don't know. It's, we like the funness of what it's become. I think if you add that element to it, obviously there's going to be an extra level of competition that, I mean, could have implications for an NFL season. One of the things I never liked about the old format of the MLB All-Star game is that game decided home field advantage for the World Series, which was absolutely absurd at one point. That was it for an All-Star game in itself. But could be something. You could be onto something there.